Okay, so here's another short edition of Tribulation Ready Survival. Now, I'm going to preface this by, I am not a medical professional, nor did I stay at a ritzy hotel last night. So, take this information as just an idea, but it's gonna work. I've done this before with other fingers, and I just kind of foreshadowed, but here's the deal. I have a broken finger. I broke my thumb fishing yesterday when I fell off the bank. Because of the stroke, I have some problems with depth perception, and I couldn't tell that there was a step down. And when I got to the shore, or the bank of the pond I was fishing, I went to step down. I didn't realize it was about 12 inches. And when I went down, I tried to catch myself. And in fact, what I did was I broke my thumb back here. I can feel it. There's no pain here, no pain here, no pain until I get right there. So I broke it at the base of my thumb, almost in the socket. Actually, it's the side of the socket right here. So, my understanding, mind you, I was a combat lifesaver, and I've had several other type of first responder training, first aid training, and whatnot. But I could go get a cast. It was just what they would do. They would immobilize my entire hand, probably up to a little bit past my wrist, and then put these fingers together and this thumb out right where it's at, in a neutral, the word here is neutral position. So if I lay my other hand out, just relax, there it is. I lay this hand out, there it is. So I still want to be able to use these fingers. So here's my plan. I have already done this. I was doing it yesterday to try and just take a look and see how it felt, how it worked. Seems to be doing just fine. Eventually I'm going to have to, maybe in a week or so, I'm going to have to do some physical therapy, grabbing a ball or something, and start getting the muscle back in here straightened out. And you can kind of see it's swollen around what I was working on yesterday. So here's what I'm going to do. I tried to find something that would naturally fit in the curvature between my thumb and my pointy finger, and I couldn't find anything except for the roll of tape, that the index part of the tape right here, the inner part. Well, I'm not going to waste all this tape, but I don't want to do that. So, I mean, heck, since I was fishing, I might as well just cut one of my bobbers in half. It's nice styrofoam. It's not going to absorb moisture, and it's rigid. It's very rigid. So, and it fits comfortably right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'll put just a little bit of pressure on here. Okay, I'm not even holding it. It's just staying there, and it's thick enough. And what I did was I cut it in half. So I cut it down so that it's not sticking up too high or too low. And I'm going to tape it into this position. Now, mind you, this is athletic tape. It's breathable. It works rather well. I do have to change it out sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. You don't want to get it wet. This is not the most high quality athletic tape. The whole goal is you can use pretty much whatever you want. And in a survival situation, if I don't have athletic tape, which I usually carry some with me, I may have duct tape. I may have a shirt. I may have a rag. The whole goal is to get your hand to stay in this neutral position right here, so that the bone down here that has, I'm going to guess on this, is probably fractured here, right here, can grow back as best as possible. It's never going to be 100%. Just think of a car accident. When you have a car wreck, your car's never like it rolled off the lot, guys, or like right before the wreck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of tape here. I'm going to cover this so that'll kind of hold it in place. Now, this is not pretty. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to work. So I'm going to bring this around here, and I'm going to essentially, so now that I've got the tape over the top here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape these two together. And so what that does is it supports the piece underneath here, and what also it does is it gives this something to support it in that same position. Okay, so I'm going to bring this around. I'm going to tape it together. There, just a couple, 2 or 3 times. And when you're working with tape like this, guys, it doesn't have to be pretty, but it also should not be very tight. So if your finger starts turning blue or numb, or this one here, then you got it too tight and you need to take it off, guys. Okay, it's just for support. It's not to, prop up your thumb. It's not like a tree that you have to prop up with a giant post or something. Just think of it as something that you got to hold in place, and then you can tear the tape just like that, and then tape it to itself, and there you go. And if you need to put a couple more layers of tape on it during the day, or take it off or whatever, you're good. But I've got that in here. It's not going to fall out. I can still use my fingers here, which even if I had to pull a trigger on a gun or fish, I could probably fish with some other fingers. I've tried to write this morning. I can't do that, and scissors are virtually impossible. But it just so happens that I can use my left hand. I learned to use it last time I had a boxer fracture over here. So I learned to use my left hand pretty darn well. And this really isn't much different. So this is what I'm going to do to splint my thumb so it can heal back over here from falling. And the pain, my wife is working on herbal remedies, and I have been using willow bark and putting comfrey on it when this is not on here for support. And comfrey is supposed to help the bone grow back. It's a compress or a poultice that you put on there, and it works rather well as the willow bark, which is what aspirin was originally made out of, is willow bark, white willow bark. And so I have some of that, and I drink it as a tea. So this is how I'm going to do this, and it would work great in the field. Like I said, if I had a rag or something, or even if I had to shred a t-shirt or a sock or something, we could tie this up and get it supported, and then move on, guys. So don't let something like this bother you. You got to go live your life, and you've got to survive one way or another. So with that being said, guys, I may do an update on this. You may actually see me do a couple more videos, and come back and visit us here at Tribulation Ready Survival. Get social with us on Facebook. We still are posting videos on Rumble as an alternate source. And give me a shout out if you got, I wouldn't say questions because I probably won't answer those, but if you got any ideas or you think maybe I can do something better besides going to the hospital, give me a shout. See you guys. Have a good one.